Hey guys, Luke here, and I'm here to do the wrap-up episode for my West Tigers Season 1 Rugby League Live 3 Crew Mode, or Manager Mode, or Coach Mode, whatever it's properly officially called, but I'm calling it Manager Mode. Now, we ended the season. I mean, it was a little bit disappointing the way we ended it in terms of we lost to the Storm, but I think we put up a pretty valiant effort, and I think we did a lot better than what people would have thought this season. At some stages, we were in the top 4. I think we got as high as maybe 3rd, I think. Maybe even tied for 1st, something like that. But I'm pretty certain we got to 3rd, and we're definitely in the 4 for at least a few rounds, even up until at least round 20, I think it was. It did all drop off, however, when, Robbie Farah got injured and, retired, effective immediately. That's a devastating blow, because obviously Robbie Farah was our captain. He's our leader, and you look at our young spine of Tedesco, Brooks, and Tedesco, Siren, and Brooks, and it was Farah, and then you add in Charrington, who hadn't really played first grade at all. I don't know if he played last season, but I mean on this hadn't made his debut for me at least. And Joel Luwani, when he eventually stepped in, he did quite a good job, and Charrington also did a good job, but it was a bit different, a bit hard because he didn't have the fitness to go the 80 on this game, so that was a little bit hard to manage. And Dean Halliday had to step in when Charrington was playing, but I think fate sort of just intervened there, and Charrington got injured, and just Charrington wasn't quite ready. He wasn't quite ready, but I wanted to sort of try and fast track him into first grade, and it was a bad move in my opinion. And we sort of got lucky that he ended up getting injured in the long run. But Luwani came in and did a better job, sort of just tightened things up. But it still was nowhere near Robbie Farah. I mean, Farah's got, he can do the defense, can last the whole game. He's also got the kicking game and the passing game, which is very, very important, and he's got great leadership. Just the kick chases, everything. The little grubbers in goals. I mean, we saw in the last game, which was against the Raiders, the last game he played ever, he scored 2 tries before getting injured, and he was putting in the little grubbers for himself. I think was one of the tries, and just backing up for the second one. And it was really a perfect game for the hooker, to be honest. And it was just such a shame the injury came when it happened, like right at the end of the season. There was no time to really recover before the finals, although we did recover a little bit. But I mean, I think we went on a little bit of a losing streak after that, and then we only got wins over some a Warriors that was resting players, and I think we got dusted by the Dragons on round 26. But we did hit back well, and you beat them in week 1. We grinded out a victory. And I've got to say, Tedesco picked up Dalian player of the year, so that's a big positive. In terms of who do I think personally was the best player of the season, I mean, you can put in the comment section who do you think was the best player. And it's also hard to tell for you guys picking, because you only see selected highlights of good things that happen or interesting things. So like generally a forward's probably not going to get it, because I mean Aaron Woods does a lot for our side on this, a lot of tackles, a lot of meters, big minutes. Same as Keith Galloway. They do a lot of important stuff, a lot of the dirty, boring stuff, some would say, for a YouTube video, so you don't really see that unless they make a break out of it, but they do a lot. Woods gets us on the front foot. I wouldn't say he's the best player by any means, but he's our best forwards player, I would say. But yeah, in terms of who do I think is the best player, well, I mean, Tedesco won Dalian Player of the Year. I mean, Nguama was unplayable at times. Luke Brooks was very, very good. I mean, Farah's very good as well, but just due to missing games through Origin, that sort of stuff, I won't give it to him. And at the end of the season, but Luke Brooks, all the games he played for us, he was very, very consistent, very, very consistent. So he's right up there. But I'd have to give my Player of the Year to Curtis Sirenin. I don't know how popular it'll be with with subscribers and that sort of stuff. And a little bit weird myself, considering I don't rate really either Sirenin or Brooks in real life. But on this game, he's got the size. He can pass. He's got a great kicking game in this game, or at least he's got an adequate kicking game that the user can use to their advantage. And he's pretty strong. He's great in defense, which is Luke Brooks is actually pretty good in defense as long as you go for the low tackles. But Sirenin can do both. But he's also got the strength. If you take it at the line, on the opponent's goal line, and they sort of hold him, you can do that drag over animation and reach out. Done that a few times this season. So yeah, I have to give it to Sirenin. I think he's just very, very good, and that right edge of Sirenin, Lawrence, and Pat Richards was was deadly. I'm not saying obviously Brooks, Simona, and Nguama were very, very, very good. We saw many times. How many times did Nguama find space? It was amazing there. But Sirinen, my player of the year. In terms of next season, what can we expect? Well, we're going to be missing. Paddy Richards is leaving. I didn't catch what club he's actually leaving to, but he's leaving. Dean Hallertau's retiring, and Robbie Farah's retiring. In terms of players we're bringing in, I think it's much needed ones. I think our second row was quite poor. I mean, obviously Dean Hallertau, he's retiring this season. He's been a great servant to the club, very versatile, and I miss the versatility. But in terms of being a starting second row, probably not up there. Jesse Sue was the other one, and he's listed as a prop in this game first and foremost. But I mean, we're playing in the second row, and he was doing okay. But I felt we didn't have those damaging back rowers, ball playing or just runners of the ball. We had kind of average players at both of those. So bringing in players like Alex Glenn, players like Sam Thaiday, players like Mike Cooper, Chris Greaves-Mull, I think that that's really, really strengthened up at bench. There's also an under-20s player from the Rabbitohs who's 80 graded and obviously a 20s player. So big hopes for him. We've also got a few Bronco locks coming in who are from the under-20s who are rated quite well. So I'm not really sure how our bench is going to play out, but you're definitely going to have Thaiday, Glenn, Greaves-Mull, Cooper. Out of those 3 of them will be starting for sure. Might even out of stretch be able to start Thaiday at prop or something. But Tapau's got one bench spot, and we just got a really, really strong forward pack now. I think that sort of rounds out the side. That was what I thought the weakness was. The only problem was, obviously Farah retiring, and we had to go into a panic sort of buy. And I'm actually pretty happy with the buy that we ended up getting, and that was Cameron King from the Cowboys. He's formerly been at the Dragons and that sort of stuff, and obviously not going to get an opportunity with Granville, and I think Kosh Jason's there, Brad Thompson. There's a lot of hookers in front of him, and he's just not going to get an opportunity. And he's not signing a huge contract with us, but I think what he offers is a little bit more than what Luani. He's a little bit more dynamic and that sort of stuff. The only problem is he's been injury prone, of recent years. So his whole career really. So if we can cut the injuries out, hopefully just a change of scenery will do the world of good for Cameron King, and it's his second change of scenery really. But yeah, I'm really expecting big things from Cameron King, and hopefully he can direct us around the park a little bit. Obviously losing a lead in Farah is going to be a big loss, but I think we've got a pretty good backup. Pretty good replacement, and then Luani's he's a pretty good backup there as well. And plus our halves, and Tedesco's got another season on the belt. In terms of the wing spot, Nofaluma, there was a lot of Tigers fans saying, why aren't you playing Nofaluma? And it was just due to the fact that someone had to miss out. Nofaluma was pretty underwhelming in the first few games, but once he came back into the side during Origin and any sort of injuries and that sort of stuff, he really did shine, and I thought that was quite promising for us. We did sign Kitty Glyman from the Dragons, who was their first choice winger, so he's come over with expectations of playing. But it's going to be a nice little battle there. I think the preseason will really shape up for what our final team will be. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but I thought it was just worth mentioning. But yeah, in terms of what I'm expecting for next season, I'm expecting big things. I think we've really got a team to do some great damage. I didn't expect the year that we had this year, especially after the start we had. But the next season, I think it should be really, really good. And I am expecting a top 8 finish, and I wouldn't be surprised if we push for that top 4 spot. Maybe at a stretch, minor premiership spot, that'd be nice. But that's all I've really got to say for this video. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you can leave a like, it'd be very much appreciated. Subscribe to my channel. Leave any comments of your predictions for next season, and or your award sort of things and all that stuff. And thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke on YT. Facebook page in the section below. And now you can leave the video. Bye, guys.